you don't have to feel great. It's okay to feel shitty, and you don't have to feel great about it, but you still have to get the work done. And this is coming from me, who's currently feeling sick right now, is sick, and recording a video. So I'm not saying this because I think I'm telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I've done, and I'm telling you my thoughts about it. So that's how you should look at this. And I want to say that if you only work when you feel great, you're not going to get a lot of work done. If you only work when you feel like, oh yeah, I'm ready, like I'm talking the day you wake up and like, yeah, Rocky fighting the boxing bag, you feel great, then you're not going to get a lot of work done because you're going to do like burst, like yeah, you're going to do like 15 hours one day. And you might think, I'm so far ahead, I'm better than Alex Hormozy, I'm going to be a billionaire tomorrow because I did 15 hours of work today. And then you don't work again for 2 months. So if you wait for the perfect time, you might get more work done that day. I don't doubt that in one day you'll get more work done than me. But I'm not trying to beat you on a day, or no one's trying to beat you on one day. The most successful people will beat you over 10 years. That's what gets them. That's what gets them better than you. It's not the fact that one day they worked and they did 100 sets in the gym. The only reason someone's in shape is not because how many sets they did today, it's because how many days they've done it before now. And I think that's with business. And you can't go back in time and change stuff, so you can at least plan for the future. And that means working when you don't feel great. So you can't wait for a perfect day. You can't wait for perfect motivation. You don't watch the motivation stuff. There's no perfect situation to work. You just got to sit down at the keyboard and actually do some important tasks. And none of that entrepreneur stuff. Like, if you know a little bit about business, like, if you do the stuff, like, for so long I've spent my time going on and finding out about like copyright, finding out about like agency models, finding out about marketing. And those are important things to do. But there's a certain point where the most important thing to do is sit down on your computer and try to write a business plan. And then I'm sure after a certain point of getting all your plans together, which is very valuable, it's going to come a time when you just have to you have to call someone up. And after you've called people up, you just have to fulfill the clients. And then your business starts rolling. This might have gone a bit off track. But when you just work, even if you feel halfway decent, like if you feel 51% good and you get work done, you'll do 10 times more work than anyone who only works at 100%. There's my notes. Can't get rid of that. Then I want to bring up something. Sometimes when you feel bad, this is like a mental thing, less so work. It's okay to feel shitty. And I'm telling you not that as like, go get the grind, which I said earlier. What I mean right now is, if you don't feel great, so what? Like, last night I was feeling like, oh, I wasn't productive and I wasn't this and I wasn't that. And for 2 hours I felt shit. And then I went, why am I feeling shit? I was like, I'm feeling shit because I think it's wrong to feel bad. I think me feeling bad makes me lesser of a person, which is just dumb and not true, obviously. So I stopped thinking that. And then I went, oh, these problems aren't that big. And another thing is, I looked at it and I went, I wasn't very productive. I worked 8 hours and I got like a few things. I got a lot done. I got more done than I had done any other day this week. Because even though I felt shit, I went in and put in the work. And I got more stuff done. And as I feel better, I'll get more stuff done. And just because you work today means you're closer to your future. Even if today wasn't that successful and you didn't get a lot done, if you just keep working today and tomorrow, and even when you feel bad, you're getting closer to your future. So you need to be more positive on that outlook. And feeling bad about feeling bad is just dumb. That's come from me, who was doing it last night. And yeah, like, don't. And look at it. Like, what am I feeling bad about? Like, this is like, I'm sure I've talked about this before, but genuinely ask yourself these questions. Like, why do I feel bad? And I was like, oh, I feel bad because I did 8 hours of work and I don't think I got an awful lot done. And then it's like, I did more work than I'd done at all. Like, I've been working on my business and working on my business. I've been learning for 2 months. I actually today or yesterday went and worked on it, and I got more done than I had in 2 months. So I should be proud of that. So it's like, don't feel shit about feeling shit. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. And then doing one thing more than yesterday is a success. Or doing one thing good. Just if you wake up in the morning and go, I feel like death himself. Like, not death probably. But if you wake up and go, I really don't want to work today. Just go on to your computer after a while and think, I'm going to sit down and work. I'm going to try to do my most important task. None of that checking emails, none of that. Go down and go, what do I need to achieve today? And try and achieve. Just go for it. And if you go, this is making me feel worse, take a break and come back. And you can just, because what better, I said this in the beginning, I think. If you watch, oh no, I didn't. If you watch Netflix today, that's like, you're already uncomfortable. So you're at like a 5 out of 10 discomfort. And at the end of the day, you've zero happiness. Zero future happiness, let's say. And if you went and worked, you might be at a 7 or 10, or a 7 out of 10, or a 6 out of 10. So you might be 1 or 2 points of discomfort up. Not fun. But at the end of the day, you're going to be like 8 out of 10 happy. So putting yourself through a bit of discomfort can make you happier at the end of the day because you're more proud of yourself. And in 10 years' time, when you've done that consistently, you'll be like, I'm proud of myself for doing that. And like, there'll be a lot of days when you feel great and you get loads of work done. But it's the days that you feel shit and still do work that makes those good days come around. Because if you felt shit today, well then it's like, well, I didn't do any work yesterday, I won't do it today. It's like, I don't feel great. And you kind of get in your head, it's not that I felt bad, it's that I didn't feel perfect. And then you only do work when you're perfect. So sometimes you have to work when you feel shit. Even though it mightn't be as smart to do it. Sometimes you have to do it because tomorrow when you feel like 60 out of 10, 6 out of 10, and you could work, you mightn't because you've kind of gotten it in your head that you should only work when you're 10 out of 10. Don't want that in your head. It's very negative. Very negative thought and does not serve you in any way. And then I've talked about how you should do it for productivity. But I'll ask you, you're in it for the long haul, right? Like, I'm in business for the next 60 years, 70 years, 80 years. Like, I want to do business till like the day I die. So would it make any sense to only work when I'm perfect? No, like, I'm working for my future. And then if you don't work and you get that in your head that you should only work when you're perfect, then you're not going to get a lot of work done. And what if you do feel shit? What if you feel shit today? Okay, you watch Netflix today. What if you felt shit for a week? It felt awful for a week. Okay, would you watch Netflix for a week? Yeah, you would, because, I feel bad, I deserve it. What if you felt awful for a month? Or you didn't feel great for a month? Well, then you wouldn't work for a month, you'd watch Netflix for a month. What if you didn't feel good for a quarter? Well, you wouldn't work. What if 6 months, a year, 3 years, 5 years? And that's how you end up, like, not saying a normal life is bad, but if you don't want a normal life to be a normal person, then don't do things normal people do. And normal people would go, if you don't feel perfect, don't bother working. It's a hard thing to do. You need to feel at your best. If you do that, like I had in the past, I'm sure, it's going to be a few years down the line you go, I actually haven't done anything. Like what I want to do, I haven't done. Because you're like a normal person. You watch Netflix on the weekends because you don't feel good enough to do work. You don't have to feel good to do work. You just have to do it. Like, there's no perfect situation. There's no good feelings. This whole thing's about, if you feel shit, go and get the work done. And that might be like, oh yeah, I'm at the grind. But like, why do you need to feel good to do work? Because you're motivated? Who needs motivation? Like, individual daily motivations, it's a bit foolish. Like, I get it sometimes you need to decrease your action threshold so you can actually go do stuff, get that motivation on. But you should just go look and think logically, like, am I willing to sacrifice little enjoyments I have right now? Am I able to sacrifice minimal things that I have? Like, am I able to sacrifice watching Netflix right now so that in 10 years' time I can watch it on a yacht somewhere if I wanted to? You probably won't watch it on a yacht because you'll be doing business stuff, but you could if you wanted to. Are you willing to make that sacrifice? Of course you are. Because every day, Every day, the only thing you sacrifice is watching one Netflix episode, or like watching one series, or binging a few movies. That's all you sacrifice. 3 movies a day. Would you sacrifice 3 movies a day to have a yacht, to have a private jet, to have the biggest own? Like, if you want material things, if you just want to run a business, to have a Fortune 500 business, would you sacrifice that? I would. And it's like, you don't need to think about it. It's like, oh, I need to sacrifice 3,650 days times 3. That's 10,800, 10,950 movies. That's so much time. I'm like, yeah, like, don't think about it like that. All you have to sacrifice is 3 today. That's it. So you're in it for the long haul, right? I hope I didn't get too far off track there. What I basically, to recap this whole thing, is if you feel shit but still get the work done, you'll work many more days and many more hours than anyone else, and they can't make it up for being super efficient one day. That's just true. And if you do it over years, they just can't make it up because you've worked longer than them, harder than them, and more often than them. That even their super focus intensity, they won't beat you. Consistency will beat intensity any day of the week. Then mental side is, don't feel bad about feeling bad. It's okay to feel shit. Like, if you, like, I felt like mentally upset. I was upset that I felt upset. It sounds foolish because it is. So if you're like me, don't feel that way. Like, if you're like, oh, I wasn't perfect, it's okay. You don't have to be. It's like, oh, I wasn't super happy today. You don't need to be happy today. Like, if you're like 90% happy, like, no cause for concern. Yeah, like, there's things you can do to get up higher if you wanted to. But if it fluctuates naturally, like, your emotions fluctuate naturally. You know, you ever see the dopamine graph? Like, you'll come back to baseline. Don't worry about it. That's at least my opinion. If you're depressed, this doesn't go for you. And then if you do one thing more than yesterday, mission accomplished. If you do one thing, mission accomplished. If you take a step towards your future self, future goal, that is a day well spent. You're in it for the long haul. So all you have to sacrifice is one enjoyment one day for an absolute amazing enjoyment a few years down the line. Yeah, that's my video for today. Hopefully it provided value for you. I'm not lying to you in any of these things. I feel sick right now. I almost threw up this morning in the toilet, so, you know, I'm honest here. If this provides value for you, like, subscribe, and feel bad for me. So comment how much you feel bad for me. Don't. Watch another video. Or do some work. Sit down, write an SOP, write your business plan. Maybe do that. And then come watch my stuff. If it provides value, if it answers your questions. Otherwise, just keep working until you need one of my videos. Anyway, that's probably my most valuable outro. Enjoy your day.